Erongo, in Ochiherero, means big settlement or large home. This region is named after the Erongo Mountains. The Erongo region stretches from the Central Plateau westwards to the Atlantic Ocean, and from the Uchab River in the north to the Kuiseb River in the south. With its adventure activities, mesmerizing dune belt, choice accommodation, unique wildlife, and spectacular mountains, the Erongo region welcomes you. The Swakopmund Museum occupies the site of the old harbour warehouse, which was destroyed in 1914 by a lucky shot from a British warship. Founded in 1931, the Voortrekkers is an Afrikaner cultural group consisting mostly of the youth. They dance to express their unity and learn about teamwork, nature and leadership. This tradition dates back to the Jan van Riebeeck era, and their motto means to hold your course. At the Swakopmund Aquarium, this artist and his underwater oil paintings brings attention to Namibia's diverse marine life. Iconic personalities in this region consist of rock peddlers, craft peddlers, sculptors, and winemakers. The Eseb cultural group gets its name from the Omaruru River and refers to the zigzag nature of the river's flow. With over 45,000 rock paintings, Brandberg is the highest mountain in Namibia and was proclaimed a National Heritage Site. Also known as a spiritual mecca to the San people, the Dongre Daman people hold regular traditional festivals in this area. Various choice accommodation makes your visit to the Erongo region a must on your bucket list. With its distinctive pointed peaks, the Spitzkoppe mountain is by far the most iconic of all mountains in Namibia. In the last 2 million years, this previously high mountain range has been eroded by the Swakop River's flow into what is now known as the spectacular moon landscape. Although it is called Sandwich Harbour, this lagoon was never a formal harbour or even a port, and was used only as anchorage for sailing vessels. The Welwitschia mirabilis is endemic to the Namib Desert and northwestern Namibia. Some plants may be more than 2,000 years old. With around 30 recorded species, the dollar bush are mostly found on gravel plains. The The fruit of the ngara plant is an essential food source for the Topnar community. Because it has no leaves, this plant's thorns and stem acts as a photosynthetic organ. The sidewinder snake is one of the smallest adders in the world. The eyes on top of its head allows the snake to burrow under the sand and watch out for prey. The Walvis Bay Lagoon is considered one of the richest and most important wetlands for bird life in southern Africa, and in 1995 was designated as a wetland of international importance, or Ramsar site. Flamingos are monogamous birds that lay only a single egg each year. These intra-African migrants can be seen throughout the year and mostly during the winter months. The common eland live up to 25 years and weighs up to 1,000 kilograms. African elephants can weigh between 4,000 and 7,000 kilograms. They eat between 150 and 170 kilograms of vegetation daily. The wild desert-adapted elephants tend to stay near ephemeral rivers, where there's a great availability of food. It is at home in the most unusual, rocky and arid desert conditions. A tortoise lifetime is comparable to that of a human being. Some have been known to live for longer than 150 years. The Cape Cross Seal Reserve is home to the largest breeding colony of Cape fur seals in the world. They fight, mate, reproduce, and fish here in this cacophony of bleats and barks that fills the air. Four-by-four driving to Sandwich Harbour is a breathtaking experience. One should be conscious not to get stuck in high tide whilst doing this. Quad biking has become one of the more popular activities in Namibia and is one of the best ways to access parts of the sand dunes that even 4x4s can't reach. Sandboarding is a board sport similar to snowboarding and is becoming very popular amongst visitors. This adventure sport is a fun way to navigate down the high and steep Namib dunes. For the extreme adventure seeker, skydiving in Swakop is doing it in Namibia's premier drop zone. Tandem jumps are very popular because of the little time it takes to master. For the rest, well, hold on for the experience of a lifetime.
My name's Rod Braby. I'm the coordinator of the Nakoma project, which is the Namibian Coast Conservation and Management Project. Nakoma was developed as a project to support the Namibian government in developing an integrated coastal management framework for Namibia. This area that we're in right here is the Dorop National Park, which was gazetted in 2010 December. The Central Coast is where most of the people congregate, especially this time of the year, because access basically is far easier in the central Namib, but the central Namib is also the most sensitive part of the desert because we don't have sand dunes, we have like gravel plains, and these gravel plains are highly sensitive to any type of disturbance, vehicle movement or mining or whatever. It's very, very sensitive areas. And if you scar these areas, those scars can last for a lifetime, even longer. But this central area, we've got biodiversity hotspots, we call them, areas that are very important for biodiversity. And in the past, people used to drive all over the place in the desert, and we've had to try and restrict their driving because of the impacts it's having. And very sensitive areas have been fenced off, like this area here, which has been fenced off for the dumb-returns to breed successfully. Because without it, with all the disturbance, they were not breeding successfully in the past. So we've improved their breeding success here. Other areas that are fenced off are the lichen areas, where you've got lichens growing. A lichen is a very simple form of plant. It's a symbiotic relationship between an algae and a fungi. What it does significantly in this area is it binds the soil together, so it protects the soil surface from erosion and wind erosion and water erosion.
Welcome back to the Endless Horizons cooking show. Today we're in the cool Swakopmund, which is in the Erongo region. Pretty excited to be here. I've got so many great ingredients that I'm going to be preparing a very simple dish with. Firstly, we'll be using these beautiful Swakopmund salt pan oysters, which are known to be some of the world's best oysters. The second ingredient will be the smoked snook from Walvish Bay. The third ingredient are these nara seeds, which come from the nara fruit from the Topna community found in the Kwesub River. The first step in the cooking process is we're going to make a mignonette, which is simply a vinaigrette for these fresh oysters. What you need is an onion and a regular grater. Use the wider side or the smaller side of the grater, and you just want to grate away some of the onion. You just want to put that into your bowl or your ramekin straight away. You just need to start adding other simple ingredients, which is just some black pepper, some salt. Also just grind that directly into the vinaigrette. You take 4 teaspoons of regular white sugar. Then you grab about 15 milliliters of white vinegar directly into the ramekin once again. Give that a stir. And you can set that aside, put that directly into your plate for the oysters, and you can let that rest until you're ready to serve. So now we're going to move on to the second step of the cooking process. Frittata is just a fancy word for almost like an egg omelet. So crack a few eggs into a bowl, about 3 eggs. Set those aside for a minute. Then you want to grab your fish, your snook, quickly take all the bones out. Perfect. Add that into your egg mixture. Chop up a few herbs. You can use a herb of your choice. Throw those directly into your egg mixture. And just a little bit of red pepper as well. Just dice up your peppers. Pop those straight into your bowl. And at this stage, you just want to get your nara seeds. You just give those a light chop as well. You don't want to use too much because they're quite intense in flavor. Add that directly to your bowl. Now you're ready to whisk everything together. Then you directly add or pour your frittata into the center of the pan. And this needs to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. And you can turn it halfway through, but just let it cook subtly on a medium to high heat. And here we are, smoked snook, frittata with nara seed, and a mignonette vinaigrette for the oysters.
Make the endless horizons of the Erongo region your next holiday destination.